Welcome, everyone. In our journey of immunity, community, immunity, today we're going to deal with something that is very near and dear to all of us in some ways. And we do not recognize it as easily. But it's a constant process that goes throughout our life. From the very beginning of the programming as we grow up, the childhood programming many times. Many times it's just the way we learn. Do this, don't do this. This is good, this is bad. Shouldn't do this, shouldn't do that. I won't do this, I won't do that. Cannot do this, I don't. I'm not sure if I will succeed. I'm not sure if I'm worth it. I'm not sure if I can do all this. I'm not an artist. I'm not. While there's a fine line between truth and what is not. For example, I may not be an artist, that's very true. But how do I look at it? I may not be able to sing, but that's fine. I cannot sing. But the other person sings well. Listen, look at me. I don't have any clue about the notes. I have no idea about the rhythm. I don't have any. Or painting or doing anything. The second part of your sentence leads to what we call as a self-blame, self-shame, self-doubt, self-guilt. This is when we put the self down. It's okay to say, I don't know how to do this. That's fine. That much is okay in the sense you at least understand that this is your limits, drawing a boundary. But the boundary needs to be such that, say, when I cross the boundary, I'll cross the boundary on my own intention. And I want to learn this, I'll learn this, and I'll do that, I'll cross the boundary. That reaction part, the self-shame, guilt, and etc. This is what is very sad situation for immune system. The immune system gets really badly affected for two reasons. One, you're saying something to yourself, which is not good anyway. So that's one trauma. And then you're hearing it, that's the second trauma. It's a double whammy. It's not one. If somebody else were to tell you, hey, you don't know how to dance, or you don't know this, don't you know this science? That's just one trauma. Okay. But when you say it to yourself, it came in from inside. And that created a second trauma. So now you have a double whammy. So you understand that self-doubt, self-shame, self-guilt, self-punishment, whatever it is in any form that you want to use, doesn't matter what word you use, but putting yourself down in any area, it creates a double whammy. You slap that immune system twice. And there's been absolutely wonderful reports on how the immune mechanism, they've done the blood studies and everything else about this as well. And there is definitely evidence. Now, another very fascinating part that we've noticed, and this is something to be correlated still, there are some studies that are still undergoing with this. It's soft data, but it's an important data. And important data is if I'm saying to myself, I'm no good. Think about this very carefully. If I'm saying that this is not good, I'm not myself, I'm not good, I am giving myself, my own immune system, a slap on the back. What does that mean? I'm creating a situation, a setup for what we call as autoimmune disease. Very fascinating part. Think about that a little bit, okay? So people who have autoimmune disease, there has been studies about it. And even National Institute of Sciences and Health Sciences, they have some papers on it. They know there's no clear-cut correlation still, but there's no question that people who do have, say, rheumatoid arthritis or any kind of, autoimmune disease we know about, they will not do well if this was exposed. They were also exposed to constant self-degradation, constant self-shame, guilt. I often say that there is no return ticket issued for a guilt trip. Once you go on it, you suffer twice. And that can destroy your immune system. So if you ever wanted to be free of all these aches and pains you're having, or repeated attacks of upper respiratory infection, breath problems, any kind of situation that's going on, or GI situation, or even the cardiovascular situation, anything is going on, remember that your immune system has to be strengthened in order to support any of this situation that's going on with you. And the way to do this is now one word. It's called self-forgiveness. There are many, many ways to do self-forgiveness. And one suggested way, we'll talk more about that. There are many, many ways we can go into it. But one of the ways I forgive myself for. What do you forgive myself? Forgiveness diary. You forgive yourself for certain things. Now, it doesn't mean that you forgive yourself for a crime you created. You stole something. You can't forgive yourself for that. You have to draw the line there. But or for lying, for example, you don't forgive and go ahead. No, there's a line there, and the value system is your line. You can always change the line, as our president is doing many times. But the issue is this. We need to recognize ourselves that we negate ourselves, we will be killing our own defense mechanisms for the immune system. So, to cover ourselves, remove the frustrations, anger, self-shame, guilt. These are all come with this whole idea about, you're not worth it, self-worth. All that comes along with it. This is all called baggage. You can use any number of terms you want, but these are all the same terms. Self-esteem, whatever it is you want to call it. It's the recognition of strength of yourself. So stand within your strength, and whatever is not strength, it's okay. Accept that part of it first. Just accept it, but don't have any emotional attachment to it initially. You might want to change it if you want, that's different. But that's how you get your immune system. Self-forgiveness.